Hello, I'm Daisha Turner, the teacher candidate, and I'm going to do a reflection video. Today I taught a lesson on capitalization. I first gave the students some reminders as to what needs to be capitalized. For example, the first word in a sentence always has to be capitalized. Pronouns, adjectives, names, and titles, just to name a few. The students and I read over each sentence and they were asked to make all corrections on their own. And once they were done making the corrections, we would come together as a group and see what they had answers. And for me, I always call on students individually so that some won't get lost in the shuffle and kind of just nod their head like, yeah, I agree. So we go round table. We had 8 students that day, and we had 15 questions. So they almost were able to answer two individually. So as we were going around asking, well, I was asking the answers, I noticed most of them focus more on like towns, names, establishments, but they kind of glossed over the beginning of the sentence. So I would say 80% of them glanced over, oh, the beginning of the sentence, let me automatically make a capitalization. Um, as I went around and I would ask them, I look at their paper like, hey, you got majority correct, but what was one that you didn't? So they would go and they would find random words that they would think needed to be capitalized. Like in the middle, it'll be like weekend, and they'll be like, oh, miss, is it this? And I say, no, remember, in the beginning of a sentence, you always start with capitalization. So I made the decision like, let's go back and let's review some videos. I like to go to YouTube and pull up videos just to give them reference. It's a lot of them are animated. It captures their attention and it allows them to really focus on the content that YouTube is giving them. So we went back to the video. It was 3 minutes long, and it was just giving them the basis, like, hey, capitalize me. I'm a name and I'm an adjective. So we went over that, and then we did the worksheet over. And once we went over it, over the video, we went back to do the worksheet, and majority of the students were able to catch on like, oh, hey, that's the beginning, let me capitalize that, and hey, that's a pronoun, let me capitalize that. So I would say after the video, it was about 80% of the students were able to make the proper corrections and move on. The other 20% that didn't get it, I decided to have the other students move on and work in a group together, and they would discuss their findings while I pulled the other students aside and we did some one-on-one. And I would read the words off to them. I'm sorry, the sentence off to them, and I'll be like, hey, what do you guys think? And so working one on one, I was kind of able to um, get them to focus more and kind of implement the train of thought like, hey, remember, when we are doing sentences, always look for the first word. It doesn't matter what it is, it always has to be capitalized for the beginning of a sentence. And after you say that a few times and then you allow them to go ahead, it kind of remains fresh in their mind. So we work together um, until the end of that assignment. And it was actually pretty successful because I got to see each individual kid what was their strong point and what was their weak point. And the ones that are stronger, I like to place them with um, a student that needs more assistance because they typically don't feel bad getting critiqued by their peers. So we were able to work successfully on a capitalization worksheet. Thank you for your time.